All right, everybody. Oh, hi everybody. It's like, how's everybody doing?
Great.
Everybody doing right? My beads are all messed up here. We got our Costa Rica beads on. I got my Costa Rica hoodie on. We got all our Dalton gear on. And I just first of all want to say that this group of people mean the world to me. I love every single one of you. And we've all lost someone very special to us. And I just wanted to have an opportunity to pull you guys together, because I think one thing that's really important for everyone to know is that the Dalton gang lives on, and that classes will continue, workshops will continue, and that these people here are going to be sharing the classes nationwide. So not to fear. So I just kind of wanted to get everybody together and just do a quick catch up. So thank you guys for coming on.
Thank you for having us.
I love all of you. So let's jump into some stuff. One of the things I know for me with Eric, I got a lot of one-on-one time with him, and we went for a walk. I have a lot of miles on my shoes from hanging out with Eric Dalton. And one of the things I feel like that he taught me was anytime I'm doing something, like, don't do it half-ass, like really get in there and make it beautiful, especially if you're going to do some kind of a presentation. He took all those classes so very seriously and really, really cared about how the students would receive it. And it was almost like he put on a performance. It wasn't just a class. It was like a freaking rock and roll concert. So that was one of the things for me, one of the big takeaways. So I'm just curious, let's start with Scott. Scott, what would you say, just share a little something about Eric, as far as what you learned from him and brought to your teaching besides your wigs.
Well, definitely the wigs for sure. Very similar to you. I loved how engaging he was with the audience. I've sat in classes that will make you go to sleep. When you start talking about anatomy, it just makes eyes close. So I wanted to be as engaging as possible. I remember sitting in Oklahoma, and rather than watching him, I would sit and watch the audience to prepare myself to become an educator, so that I could see what faces of learning people look like. And it's usually just, so I wasn't as nervous when I got up and started teaching, because I had seen what people look like while he was teaching, but then to really make it engaging so that you can get those smiles and laughs, because that's the stuff that gets that information to stick.
It was so fun. He was always so fun. So I'm going to jump over to Nate. Nate, hey, what up?
Hey, hello.
So tell me, what is something that you took away from years and years of hanging out with Eric and watching him teach? What do you feel like he's added to your teaching?
Well, to mimic Scott, putting on a show, putting on a performance. I always love that, not just having it be a dry, boring seminar. Of course, some of the parallels that Eric and I shared, years playing music and being on the road and everything like that. So taking that sort of rock show over to the world of massage and manual therapy. And, it's easy to sit back and say how life-changing one person could be, right down to my individual practice, to just getting up there and presenting. And I mean, so much, right? So much that Eric gave to the massage community that's going to just live on forever.
So Kathleen, how about you? Tell me a little bit about how you feel like you were influenced as a teacher, as a body worker by the King.
Oh, the King. I took my first class with Eric when I'd been out of massage school about a month. So I'm hitting my 24th year studying mat now. And the thing that I appreciate about Eric, and the thing that kept me coming back over and over again, was that he would challenge the students, to rethink what they know based upon new research that he's culled and organized for us. His drive to always stay current and dump what's old has been really important in my practice. And I try and carry that through with my students as well. And another thing that I really learned from him that I make sure to, bring forth in my workshops is that I take the work seriously, but I don't take myself very seriously at all. I want to have a very playful environment and break information down so it's so easy to understand for a 5-year-old. And that's the way students can then relay it to their clients. I just miss him so much. This has been a rough couple of months. Mm-hmm. Thanks, Diane.
Mm-hmm. Tammy, how about you?
You asked us to think about a bunch of questions, and the one thing that came to mind was that right after Eric passed, I was driving to work, and I looked up and I said, "Dear Lord, please let my clients not be mad at me today, because I cannot do one bit of Dalton. I'll blubber all over the table. I'll drip all over them." So I went to work with the mindset that they were getting Swedish therapeutic, and that was that. And truth be told, as soon as my hands touched somebody, they couldn't do anything other than Dalton. My brain couldn't do anything other than Dalton. And I didn't cry. I actually smiled. And the man will never leave me, because he's in my very being, whether it's at work or whether it's with family, with you guys or our family. He'll just always be there. His presence is always forever there. And after reading through everybody's messages on Facebook, the millions of messages, there has to be a million of you out there that feel the exact same way. As soon as you touch a client, like you said, Nate, just press play. Mine was just take your hands out and there's Eric.
That is awesome. God, I like you guys a lot. Judy, tell me how he's affected you as a body worker.
I want to talk about how he's affected me personally. Is that okay?
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm all, yeah. Right.
I just, whenever you said, how has he affected, has most influenced me. It's just not about, it's not about body mechanics or ulnar flosses. It's how he lived his life. And that was with passion and enthusiasm and creatively. He lived such a creative, interesting life. I mean, it was just all in. And that's why everybody's so drawn to him. I mean, you can't help but love him. I had somebody reach out to me after he died and said, I never went to a live workshop. I never met him in person. And I am so sad. I can't stop crying. I had people texting me saying, I just can't stop crying. It's because people love him so much, because he just was his true self, his true identity. He's this mad science-y dreamer, all these crazy, unique things, and he lived it. He was all in, and it's inspiring when you see someone live like that, especially when you see someone live in such a unique way, because it makes you think, if he can live that way, I can live that way too. And I don't have to live this socially acceptable checklist that everybody lives. He didn't do that. He wasn't like that. He was one of a kind. He said yes to life and to experiences, and that's why we all love him and why he was so fun and full of crazy stories. Because he said yes to life.
I mean, between all of you guys just really just brought it home. Like I said, he just was an amazing dude. I remember the first time I went to Oklahoma City too. You just saw this little white head everywhere. He made sure that he said hello to this is one thing, if you haven't been, I mean, he made sure he said hello to every person at every class. I mean, that is some crazy shit right there. Like I said, I mean, he's leaving a lot of people, you know. The one thing that I want to say about all of you that, and then I like how Tammy too included everyone, you know, he's going to be living through everybody. And it's just so cool. I don't think he understood how gigantic an effect he had on all of us. So I really am excited to see that get carried on and through all of you and through all the massage therapists out there, because he was just amazing. So, maybe I saved one of the best for last. No offense to everybody else, but I have to say one thing that I noticed when I started coming around. One thing that I noticed when I started coming around was that Eric had a person, and her name was Kim Miller, and he loved that lady, man. Like, you were like his go-to and the one who kept it all together, you know? And also you've helped all of us. And I have you cornered now, Kim Miller, where I can just tell you what an amazing person you are and how deep and spiritual you are and how much you've influenced my life as well, too. You know, and you and Eric as a team were just something special. You put on a lot of really great workshops. So without further ado, let's give it up for some, like, Kim Miller sits behind that little thing and does her thing, but let's give it up for Kim Miller.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Tammy's got the tambourine. Thank you.
So Kim, what's going on? I mean, I know if anyone's going to let everybody know that everything's okay and classes are going to keep going on and the Dalton gang is tight as glue, which is just so exciting. And then there's a lot of new things coming up. Just tell us what you want to tell us about what's coming up.
Well, I'm excited that that we pulled together one more Oklahoma City workshop. I contracted the venue last week, and this picture.
So we're having let me just be clear. You pulled together one more Oklahoma City workshop. So there will be, if you have not made it to an Oklahoma City workshop, you got to go. It is the craziest, coolest event of any other that is out there. Sorry, I had to get that.
It is. And this picture behind me is a picture of Scissortail Park and some of downtown Oklahoma City. What I'm really excited about is this workshop will pay tribute to Eric, of course, but also we're going to showcase our educators. And I'm delighted that all 6 of them will be coming, and they will each be teaching a segment of the workshop. This is so exciting. I just get 6 people together. This event, first of all, was huge. And the fact that, like I said, we will pay tribute to Eric. His daughter will be there. A little bit about him. James Waslowski has said that he would be happy to be there. And once again, be our cameraman.
Yeah.
Imagine, because he and Eric were good friends, that he'll want to say something. And guess who else is going to be there? Diane Matkowski.
Yes. I'm so excited to all be together again and be in Oklahoma City. Like I said, I remember the first class I went to, I was just like, holy shit, this is some cool stuff. Everyone was having such a good time. There's like 200 people in this room, and it felt that way, but it didn't feel that way. It was just And the people on the screen were just so welcoming and loving to me. And we've become what I believe will be lifelong friends. So we got Oklahoma City coming up. What else, Kim? Do you have anything, other news that you want to share?
I do. We are going to continue to have the Dalton Myoskeletal annual retreat in Costa Rica.
Costa Rica! Wow.
And this year, this instructors, the great educator Nate Fay and Scott Doss will be.
Costa Rica! I got goosebumps, man. I got goosebumps.
Yeah.
Yay. And if you haven't been to Costa Rica, first of all, it's a business write-off. Hello. So the whole trip you write off, so you deduct it from your income at the end of the year. Brilliant. The food there, I'm very picky. I am a picky woman. I will admit it. I like some good food. And when I go there, I'm like crying the whole time for joy to be with my Dalton Gang family. But the food, holy shit. You're going to be so full of goodness that it's unbelievable. So the food, the people, the atmosphere, you're going to look at beautiful, beautiful mountains, birds. Judy, what are the birds that are there? You're always taking pictures.
Mott birds. The mott bird is amazing.
And Scott, what do you
excursions?
The tree in the middle of on the trail. What is the name of that tree?
That's a banyan tree, I think.
Yep.
Yes, I believe it is.
Colorful one, yes.
It's just beautiful. And Nate, what would you say about the accommodations?
Oh, it's so cool. And what better accommodations, because I get to room with my BFF Scott every year. So that's fun, man. It's beautiful there. The views, the walking trails, man, this past November, 5 a.m., my phone's buzzing. Come on, boy, let's go for our walk. And, Scott and I will continue that tradition of those walks. And it's just beautiful. The food, the staff, and of course, then there's like a whole class where you get to come learn the greatest manual therapy techniques in the world in paradise. Pain in paradise, pain relief in paradise.
So great accommodations. And then let's not forget, though, one of the cool things too is it's not all work. There is play. So you actually get some time off for excursions. You have a couple half days. You have a full day off. And you'll probably find, I would guess, Nate and Scott sing at the pool on those days. We've been known to do some dancing, and I'm sure there'll be some things going on. So it's a great time. You could even salsa dance. I think they have that. And you'll be close and intimate with Scott and Nate, who it sounds like will be the presenters. And if you haven't seen those guys teach, holy shit, brilliant. So Kim Miller, but what else?
Let me just add right now, so everyone's clear, that those workshops are not yet on the sales page at ericdalton.com, but they'll be up. Oklahoma City will go up this week. We'll probably wait a couple of months to post the Costa Rica retreat. And we have 6 educators teaching all over the country.
Let's hear about that now. Who wants to go first?
Let's hear about that.
Let's go with, because one of the things, we don't have Clinton on, and I want to say, Kim, I'm just going to give myself a little shout out and let you know that I'd be happy to go see Clinton in Amsterdam.
I bet you would.
If he needs any help. So we have classes in Amsterdam with Clinton, and then let's jump over to Kathleen. Tell us about your next 2 classes.
My next 2 classes, I am teaching a sports injury class, March 4th through 6th.
Where?
In Dallas, Texas.
Woohoo!
Yay! And in April 26th through 28th, I'll be teaching brain-based body work, also in Dallas, Texas. And then I'm joining Tammy McHugh. I'll be here teaching, one of her teaching assistants at AMC Orlando.
Woo!
May 16th through 18th.
Woo!
Yay.
Okay, since you just mentioned Tammy, what are you up to? Where are you teaching?
My first 3 classes are all in Florida, so everybody can come get their CEUs before their renewal.
I'll be there.
Is going to be the 7th, 8th, and 9th. Orlando is the 4th, 5th, and 6th. And Naples is the 11th, 12th, and 13th. Naples is going to be a fun one because Usually upper body, lower body is a 2-day, and we're going to do a 3-day upper body, lower body. And we're just going to really hone in on how you can do Dalton in a spa, because a lot of people think that you need to do it in a chiropractic type setting, and you do not. It can flow very nicely into your massage routine that you have. So when I mentioned that at the FSMTA webinar, there were a lot of people that were really happy that they're going to understand how to incorporate it into spas.
And I hope to be there for some of your Orlando workshops to say hello, because I have a lovely girlfriend that lives in Florida. But anyway, so Nate, what's going on, man?
What's going on? Well, I
might see you.
You're going to see me. Yeah, you're going to see me March 1st in Fraser.
Fraser?
As of now,
Where's that?
It's kind of like Philadelphia, but it's right outside of Philadelphia in Fraser, Pennsylvania. And I think, Kim, as of like an hour ago, there's only one spot left.
That's right.
Who's going to grab that spot today? We'll find out.
Grab that spot.
I'll be in Warwick, Rhode Island, March 15th, weekend of March 15th. And then I'm going to head on over the border to see my good friends up in Canada, and we're going to teach a class at the Cardon Table Factory the first weekend of April. Nice. So I'll get my parlez-vous on, and we'll teach a good old Dalton myoskeletal course in French, Canadian.
Hey, Scott.
Yes, I've got San Antonio coming up, but that's sold out. So I will be then in April 4th and 5th in Columbia, Missouri. That was really popular last year. So I'm excited to go back. I'll be teaching the brain-based bodywork in Columbia, Missouri. So good Midwestern location. And then really exciting, I'm working on booking for Australia for September. I'll have 2 classes there, one in the Gold Coast and one in the Melbourne region. So I'm excited to bring myoskeletal alignment therapy down under.
Yay! And then so,
what kind of costume are you gonna wear? Kangaroo?
Well, I never come unprepared. So.
And then I just want to, Judy, you're not teaching classes, but you've taken too. I mean, you're doing great with your mat practice. You're just killing it. And what are you up to?
I'm focusing on building my team at home here in Edmond this year. I just hired a really talented lymphatic therapist. I'm super excited. I have a medical massage practice in Edmond, and I'm hoping to find a mat, someone to come work for me.
Therapist.
I want to have different specialties underneath my medical massage umbrella.
Sweet. Mm-hmm. So look at this group, this thriving group of individuals. Kim, is there anything else that you wanted to share that we might have missed?
No, I just want to say one thing about Eric. Early on, when it was just Eric and me, and he was the teacher and I was the model, the camera person, the assistant, and everything else, was just the 2 of us. We did that for 10 years, and then, I decided to get some other people to help us. One of the things I enjoyed, and I just, Carrie Osborne from Massage and Bodywork magazine is doing a tribute article for that issue, or for the upcoming issue on him. So I revisited our past so I could share some of that with her. But when we would sit down at the departing gate for our flight, he would bring out 2 newsletters. One of them was on spinal biomechanics and the other neurology. And that was 20 years ago. And I'd read one on while we're waiting to depart. And then I'd read the other one coming home. And and looking over the things that, some of our communications, something he wrote about a short description. He thought it'd be a really good short description of Matt in 2010. Just reminded me of just how brilliant he was. After we had been on the road for about 2 years, he said, I think that you should go teach now. And I said, you know what? I don't want to teach. I just want to hang out with you. From our generation, science fiction author Grok. I just wanted to hang out with him and see if some of that knowledge would wear off. And it was so inspiring and so delightful to watch as he put the elements of myoskeletal alignment techniques together. It was just so exciting to see him on fire, to see him lit up. It was wonderful.
So I have to ask, because this is one of the other things that, as someone as it's like kind of come in late to the Dalton gang, and the last few years, and just been blown away. One of the things that I love is, why don't you tell everybody, Kim, how long you've been with Eric Dalton?
Oh, I met Eric in 1992, and we I had some teaching experience in the business of the massage school that I had gone to. So we exchanged a lot of ideas, because he was thinking about it and sharing what he was putting together and what he had learned from, not only Ida Rolf, but Philip Greenman and, Vladimir Yonda, and then later on Serge Grakovetsky. And we started doing small workshops in his pink garage. And I think in 1998, AMTA had a 4-state conference in Oklahoma City. And he had written a posture pain performance book. And so, that was the big deal at the conference. And then in 1999, we went first to our first regional conference in San Antonio. And then 2000, we started getting invitations to the bigger pictures. We did a lot of AMTA stuff, California, and it was all fine. Yeah.
Listen, I think he had, I don't know if anyone else heard this. I'm sure Kim, didn't he got some kind of tour bus and did a tour? What was that?
We had a T-shirt one time called the Blue Collar Tour. I just thought about something he used to say. You guys have probably read this, or you probably even heard him say, "Well, this is an experiment in terror," And so, as we were finding our way, and just figuring it out with the workshops, and he was just figuring it out. And as you know, he drew a lot on his time as a manager of bands, not just being a musician, but then trying to manage, like you said, managing all those egos. But he, so he really drew on that, and he looked at our workshops evolved into events, as he used to, as he liked to call them. You could just see that side of his personality coming out, that side of personality. But we never did have a tour bus.
Oh, I thought for some reason. So the shirt, see there.
It was the Blue Collar Tour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was such a good idea.
Where the rubber meets the road.
Where the rubber meets the road. So
the rubbin.
Oh gosh. So everybody, thank you very much for your time. I'm so honored to, like I said, to kind of know all of you. It's been so cool to watch everyone grow too. Holy shit, you guys just keep getting better and better and better and better. So thanks for coming on. Thanks for letting everybody know kind of what's next. And if you can, I'm telling you, get your ass on a plane and come to Oklahoma City in July. Holy God, it's so much fun. And that park behind Kim is so cool. It's great for walks, and there's good food and the company. And I think that this will probably be a really high energy, exciting, sad, all kinds of, it'll just be a really great experience. So if you're wondering what you should do for continuing ed, again, it's all a write-off, all your meals, all your travel, you write that shit off and come to Oklahoma City. And if you can't come to Oklahoma City, please, Nate, Faye, and Scott are killing it. And if you have never had a chance to go to Costa Rica, well, you have a safe place to go. They pick you up at the freaking airport, so you have no excuses. They drive you back to the airport, so you have no excuses. You'll be with people. You won't be alone, so you don't have to be afraid about going or anything else. There's no excuses not to go. And there, too, again, everything is an absolute 100%.
Oh, no.
Uh-oh.
Not Diane.
No.
She's doing the free
We're losing anyway. So thank you, everybody, for coming on.
Thanks, Diane.
Love
Thanks,
you
Diane.
all.
Good to see you all. Bye.
Yeah.
Great job, Diane.
It's ended.
Is it? Okay, I think it's off of
It
everything.
still says live on my screen.
Hold on one sec. Oh yeah, that will. Hold on. Here we go. Hold on.